Warm welcome. So today the post-colonial movie that I'm going to discuss about is Lagaan. It is a 2001 Indian Hindi language epic, musical and sports film written and directed by Ashutosh Govardikar and produced by Amir Khan along with debutant Gracie Singh and British actors Rachel Shelley and Paul Blackthorne in supporting roles. The film is set in 1893 during the late Victorian period of India's colonial British Raj. The story revolves around a small village in central India whose inhabitants, burdened by high taxes and several years of drought, find themselves in an extraordinary situation as an arrogant British Army officer challenges them to a game of cricket as a wager to avoid paying the taxes they owe. The narrative spins around this situation as the villagers face the arduous task of learning a game that is alien to them and playing for a result that will change their village's destiny. The film is read as a text that inhabits and articulates a double temporality. Lagan or Tax in Hindi is a movie that looks simultaneously to the colonized past and the post colonial present. India has been an agricultural economy. The land tax was one of the greatest sources of revenue of the empire. The legal aspects of colonialism, despite colonialism being an important subject for third world cinema, are often overlooked. The literature relating to popular culture and international law also gives little attention to the culture of anti-social resistance in art, music, and cinema. Post-colonialism in literature voices the aftermath of colonization in a country, especially concentrates on the political and cultural independence of formerly subjugated people and themes such as colonialism and racialism. In short, post-colonialism commenced from the end of World War II. Post-colonial literature also concentrates on the psychological state of the colonized. Even after being freed from the powers of colonial forces, the subjugated people just find themselves inferior. In Lagan, there is a political resistance, a movement within an organized effort from a group of people to resist a power. It can either be a violent or a non-violent method. The form differs according to the period and type of people involved. In the movie, the villagers don't indulge in any violent practices, but they resist the political unfairness through a fair play of cricket. They demand justice through a fair playground. Though they are unfamiliar with the do's and don'ts of the game, the spirit is untouched. They motivate other fellow villagers to join the cause and resist the imperial powers. In colonial period, it was not only military power but also the materialistic possessions that aided the British forces to oppress the native citizens. In light of this scenario, Indian men who were exposed to the colonial approach resulted in restricting the women folk. But modernity over the period changed the lives of these women in the post colonial period. They emerged as nationalist figures who did not blindly imitate the Western women, but rather indulged in the building of the nation's progress with her Oriental philosophies of spirituality. Here, the difference between the British woman and the native women lies in the very separation of materialism and spiritualism. In the movie, the subaltern groups resolve the matter with creative resolution. The main character or the hero of the movie chooses cricket as a solution to face the agricultural tax imposed upon him. The plot of the movie doesn't deviate from the cliche of Indian cinema. The hero's journey is well equipped with dramatic incidents and all the other characters working with him for a cause. But the movie never resolves around the hero's master play. Though he is used as a leading figure to further lead the light, there are other number of characters such as his friends and foes that make the story a fight against the imperial powers. In the movie, we see various post-colonial aspects. Let's discuss a few of them. The first point is center or margin. In this film, the colonizers are portrayed as the center or the superpower, and the colonized portrayed as the other. It gives the colonized the perception that they are inferior to the colonizer. England was one of the superpowers during colonization in India and is very evident in the film. For instance, in the movie, the antagonist, Captain Russell, is the decision maker, and the villagers have no other choice but to follow them. There is a cultural transition that cuts through the cricket. The second one is hybridity. Here it is portrayed when Elizabeth, the sister of the antagonist, teaches the Indians how to play the colonizer's sport, that is cricket. And she in turn learns the local language to talk to the localities. Nonetheless, there are instances wherein she tries on the Indian attire. This is the exchange of culture that takes place. The villagers find a way to turn the most British of customs into an Indian creation, and this further introduced the concepts of mimicry when the village tried to create the sports gear just like the Britishers. They tried to learn the rules of the game and follow it. They are lingering effects that offer both the chance to be the colonizer at his own game and the chance to join the colonizer's game playing by his rule. Villages were also colonized based on modernity. The Britishers live a life of luxury using modernized products to make their life easier. On the other hand, the villagers have to work hard to even have the basic needs of their life. They use traditional utensils and methods to do their daily chores. When it comes to the game cricket, the official uses their expensive bats and balls made from excellent materials. Villagers have to make their own materials to practice and use. The extreme differences in lifestyle shows the aftermath of colonialization that lead to the deterioration of living conditions in the country. Even the clothes used by Russell's sister portrays the British culture. She uses hats and umbrella to beat the scorching heat. She doesn't have much labor to do and spends most of the time lavishly. In the case of Indian women, they are hardworking in nature. They have to walk miles to fetch water. They look after the family's needs and are indulged in household activities which are exhausting. They help and support their husbands mentally. They aren't educated as much when compared to the British women nor have a luxurious lifestyle. They are plain and simple, both in character and living. But the modernity was never an excuse for the villagers. Their resistance towards the colonial powers is an example. It is evident that they choose to fight and win the challenges with limited resources and talent. The spirit of unity is their greatest strength and weapon to win the challenge. The analysis of the film in reference to the social, economic, and political condition of the country imply that the imperial forces play a pivotal role in restructuring India. Through the Gandhian principle of non-violence and other propaganda, the citizens have made an impactful change that later led to many such incidents. The film projects that we have been oppressed and subjugated for a long time that we almost forget that we have had our own voice. We were internally struggling, but the fear of the for but the fear of being oppressed made us silent. It also shows the class exploitation and bourgeoisie culture. Lagaan represents thousands of uncertain stories that made a change in resetting the history of India. Thank you.